Hello, welcome to episode 90, guys. As always, Sunny Bonani Dumalang, goeie afternoon, bon dia. So yes, 90 episodes, 90 of these recordings. And so far, to date, the episodes that have generated the most interest is about my armpit hairs. Out of all of the topics that I've discussed, deep conversations that have been had, introspective and reflective, contemplative thoughts that have been downloaded, armpit hairs is what seems to be rocking the world right now. But let's park those armpit hairs for a moment, shall we? And there was a wonderful human who spotted that I'd shaved my armpit hairs. Very observant there. Well done to you. And yes, I actually shaved my armpit hairs after months and months of just leaving my pits completely free. And it was interesting because I was stepping into a new space and place and was already rocking up barefoot. And I just felt I needed to almost like not be too shocking, not be too in your face, upon this first introduction, that I somehow felt the need to have to shave my armpits. And it's quite a weird feeling, right? Because I am a true custodian and believer of bringing back those armpit hairs. But here I was, shaving my pits because I didn't want to appear too much for some people. Crazy. It is crazy. I'm learning, guys. I'm also figuring this stuff out. I'm also, what's the word? Deconditioning myself, downloading new software, uploading new programs. So I'm right there with y'all. Today's episode, however, as much as this pit hair seems to be very, very resonant with so many people, I would like to chat about something that I've come to foster and observe within myself. A change, a behavior which I used to be really protective of, and one that I used to not even be consciously aware of, I guess. And that behavior that I'm talking about is justifying myself, or even sharing too much. But sharing too much from a space of needing to validate myself or needing to be validated. In addition, this whole aspect and element of just needing to justify why I do things. And I find that the more I don't know if it's age, I don't know if it's these micro habits that I've started to foster in my life, but there's definitely been a shift and a change. This hunger and this thirst and desire for external validation, it's still kind of there. I ain't gonna lie, it's still kind of like hovering on the surface, like some kind of residual oil that we haven't cleared and cleaned up. But it's definitely dissipated. And the need for validation is only coming from myself, or at least the extent of it, or the percentage of validation of self from self has increased exponentially, as opposed to me seeking for validation outside of myself. So I've found that rather interesting just to observe and more importantly, viscerally feel within my physical vessel and my physical body. And I guess the main catalyst and the main reason for me arriving at this feeling is, the challenges that I've been facing over these past couple of years, and the realization of how much power I used to just give away, how much attention I used to just give away, how much of my time I used to just, willingly just give because I thought that was the right thing to do. And the people pleaser in me, wow, that bitch be loud, man. That bitch be loud. She'd be talking. God forbid if I upset anyone. Oh my goodness, I would feel so guilty and so bad, as if I had just kind of tweeted what a very powerful president tweeted a couple of days ago. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? So, I find myself in such an interesting and somewhat unfamiliar space of making sure that the only person that I'm really, truly trying to impress is myself. It sounds like so superficial, right? It sounds so like me, 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 me. It does a little. I know it does. And I am all about the we, people. I'm all about the we. But I really do believe that we can't hold the we healthily, be healthy. Hold them with both our hands, not just like a toe and a finger and once we've fully embraced the me, then we can welcome the we. So perhaps that's today's episode, from me to we. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But yes, I am just reflecting on just this feeling, this visceral feeling within the body of, I guess, how I used to behave and how I used to feel when I was seeking that external validation. And when it arrived, what was that feeling? And when it didn't arrive, what was that feeling? And now it's less important, because those people are not necessarily ever constant. The only constant in your life is you. You got to look at yourself every single day. You got to be with yourself every single day. And the only person that you're truly accountable to is you. And when you start working on the you and the me, the we starts to open up in a more pure, authentic, and real way. Anyway, guys, that's just what I've come to experience and feel in my own life. And I kind of felt and was called to share it for today's episode. And I guess it was prompted by one of those old cobwebs creeping out of the corners, something, someone that I thought had been gone and buried, and then they're like, hello, still here. And when that happened, it was just so fascinating and interesting just to observe how I felt. And I felt nothing. Not much. Was grateful for the experience, grateful for the moment, grateful for that person being in my life. But did I want to reconnect and have them back in my life? Nope. I felt that my growth and my progress was, I guess, how can I say this? Let me just allow it to process first before I speak the words. Let me feel the feeling, shall I? I guess it's like, when you get a big chocolate cake. I'm not into cake, but this is the analogy that's coming into my awareness. It's like when you have a big chocolate cake, that first slice of chocolate cake is going to be spectacular, I'm sure, especially if it's a good chocolate cake, right? It's going to be so good. And then you'll be tempted to have another slice of cake, perhaps. And that second slice of cake just somehow won't hit the mark as well as that first slice of cake. In fact, halfway through that second slice, you might be saying to yourself, oh, shit, no, I actually shouldn't have had this slice. I should have just have had the one slice, and then maybe tomorrow or in 3 days' time, had another slice. But this slice is actually, but for some reason, guilt, committing to that second slice somehow takes over you, right? And then once you finish that second slice of cake, you're like, oh, wow, it's like excess, too much. Oh, I don't want to see another slice of cake for like ages. I don't want to be anywhere near a chocolate cake. And I guess you can apply the same thinking to the people and places that you step into. And as much as you sometimes want to have that second slice of cake, as much as you want to allow those people back in, as much as you want to step back into some of those spaces and places, remember that feeling that you get halfway through that second slice of cake, where you almost have tainted the perfection that was the first slice of cake, because you've almost like wanted more of that good stuff. And once you've had more of that good stuff doesn't taste so good no more. So yeah, I just feel it's like such a powerful and relevant analogy to, I guess, how we experience humans that we have had in our lives and we've consciously chose to maybe distance ourselves from or step away from, because that's just the way life has created it to be. Albeit an old job, albeit an old situation or space and place, or whatever, really. It doesn't really matter. But yes, I felt called to share that and offer illumination of this experience within my own life. And just called to share whatever I was sharing today, Anyway, guys, I am very inspired by this magical sky. It's very beautiful today. It's very, very blue, and the dragons are definitely speaking very loudly today. So I'm going to go and hear what they have to say. I'm going to go and doodle a little bit, hear a little bit of music, connect with the magic that is creation, and just enjoying the bliss and the wonder that life is inviting me to take part in. So until tomorrow's episode, continue to sow those seeds, allow for the flow and magic of life to find and guide you so that you may ultimately grow and glow. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay delicious. And until then, mwah.